What's up, anybody that's watching this video? I am Rebuilds, or Roman Empire Builds, back today with a LEGO Star Wars video. And if you've seen my first introduction video, my other video that I have on this channel, it's just explaining what this channel's about, and it's just LEGO Star Wars stuff. And I spent a lot of time working on this build, and I'd really appreciate it if you could like the video, maybe comment, give some feedback. But I just wanted to show you guys this. This is my first order UCS scale transport, and I really like this ship, and it was really fun to make. So without further ado, let's get into some of the. Here it is, my UCS scale first order transport. Now there's a lot of stuff going on here, so I'm gonna start with the stand, and then like the overall thing, and then I'm gonna go into some of the smaller details of the ship itself. So I made a stand. It's very stable. As you can see, there's a lot of triangles and a lot of structural things. It's tilted to the side to kind of give it the implication that it's kind of flying through the air. And I also added a little mini first order transport down here. I'm not sure why I did that. It just seems like a fun little idea. Also have a little Star Wars plaque down there. I had some rock detail just to kind of give the suggestion that it's flying over some terrain, but the stand isn't really meant to do that. Of course, it's not a perfect looking stand. I have limited parts, so that kind of limited me. But I have this this long beam sticking out. I wish I could have held it a little shorter than that, but it's fine. It looks fine. See, we have really strong stand. It's tilted, and it just looks really nice on display. And so that's pretty much the stand. I'm going to be showing you the full thing, the actual ship itself now, with all of its details. So yeah, here's the stand without the ship on it. It's very bare. Does not look good without the ship on it. Of course, these clear pieces that I just used to support the back are exposed. These two circles here are the circles that two little bricks go on it, and that's basically the main connection point, and then you just attach these on from there. So yeah, this is the stand. Pretty simple, nothing much going on. And here it is, the model itself, the UCS scale first order transport. Now, the first thing I'll tell you about this is that it's completely accurate to the movie. Everything you see in the movie, these floodlights here, these exhaust ports are just completely movie accurate. The one thing is that the landing gear I couldn't get right just because of my limited parts. But I do feel like it came out pretty nice. It's perfectly minifig scale too, so that's always good to see. I've filled the interior with minifigs, and you'll see that in a little bit. But let's start off from the back. So, moving on to the back, we have these really nice V-shaped engines. I kept them from the set. I had the set. It was very short and squat. I didn't like it. So I changed it, of course. These engines I did keep because I do think they're nice, and I was too lazy to make new engines because I'm a lazy boy. In there are supposed to be fins that come out in the front here, but I don't really know how to do that, so I just kind of had them in the back there, but they look fine enough. I mean, they're not super exposed, but I just feel like it's nice to have some detail back there instead of nothing, because it's an area that I see a lot when I'm just displaying this with the stand. So that's important to have, I feel like. And the bottom here, there is this thing, and I'm very happy about this. I was able to keep the function from the set, which is amazing. And this long thing, there's a whole beam running under these. So if you pull this back, and forth, the door opens. That's just, I'm so happy that I kept that in there. It's such a cool feature, and I just really wanted to have it. It's such a great feature. So I'm so happy that I got that in there. That's probably my major plus with this set, or not set, but MOC. My major pro. There are some cons, but that's just mind-blowing. It was hard because I have to change the angles and change the length of all the beams, but I did it. I got it done. So that's that. Very happy with that. Next, we have these fins here, which I don't know why they're here. They're, I guess, armor plates, but they don't do very well protecting. You can just shoot in between them and blow up those engines. But they do add a bit of dynamicness to the whole thing. It's basically a big gray box, but I feel like they added a nice splat, like a relief from the boxy shape. There are a little bit of angular bits. So those are cool. There's the same one on both sides, and they can be moved, but I'd keep them in this spot just because they look good in there. Back here we have this cover for the back. It's like a better armor for these engines, and it has some nice. I used a TIE Fighter printed piece and another city, I believe, some kind of metal grill. But that's that. I used the angle piece from the set that was on the side there to get just a little bit of covering for the miscolored pieces that are down there. Of course, this set, MOC. I keep saying that. I need to fix myself. But this MOC does actually have a lot of really not colored pieces that are covered by gray parts. So that's good. I can just like use my gray parts only on the outside and then have the colored pieces on the inside, which is very useful to be able to do on such a large MOC like this, because you don't want to have to use all gray parts. Moving further along, this is probably my favorite area. I mean, other than the interior, because that's just a no-brainer, my favorite part. But this area is probably like one of the coolest areas. Not because of the outside. The outside's cool. All of the outside's cool. But because of the interior that I made for this part. And I'll show you guys that in a little bit. But just down here, we have have two major capsules down here. We have this bit and this bit. Now this bit is like just armor plating with this little groove in there, which came out fine. But these things, I thought they were upward thrusters for the ship, but no, they're actually terrain sensors. I saw that in the cross sections book, so it's nice to have those there. They're on both sides, and this side is identical to that side, so there's no difference. Maybe like one or two different parts, but like that's it. There's nothing really different from the two sides. So what you're seeing on this side is basically the exact same on that side, so don't worry about it. We have these, which are seal generators, I believe. It looks fine, just a little circular bit. Of course, there's some blue there, which is sad, but they don't have a gray part of those, at least not of my knowledge. Over here, we have some nice angled bits. These were really annoying to get done. Of course, there's a spring-loaded shooter for a brick down there, because you have to get creative. And actually, I do like using spring-loaded shooters as bricks. It just works. I think it has a nice design on the edge. But nice angle pieces there. There's some grills here for exhaust ports. And then I pretty much tiled it up. There's some black underneath there that's not supposed to be in the wall, but I just tiled it off. And it does come, the dark gray does come on this area a little bit, but I tried to keep that as minimal as possible. And it's, like zooming out, it's not really that bad. It's just kind of there. But moving up, we have our Sith Trooper here. Let me go and take him out. He just sits on two studs down there. And you can close this hatch with, also this is a TIE Fighter piece, which is cool. I have this gun here, which, let me take this off real quick. This gun is massive. I don't think it's supposed to be this big, but that's another little small inaccuracy that I have. But it just looks so good. It just looks so cool. And you can have the Sith Trooper putting his hands on that little bar there, but I don't, because it's kind of a hassle, but that's cool. There's these nice targeting system up here where he can like look, and probably there's some kind of heads-up display here in universe, but you can just look through there, target the enemy in a hot landing zone, and yeah, destroy them. So I kept basically the same cockpit. I smallened it a little bit. Smallened is not a word. I shrank it down a little bit just to make it a little less bulky and big and really big looking, and I think it works well. Like it had like extra studs on the back, which didn't work well, but it's like a nice tower now. Of course, has the same exact function. You lift this back part up, which covers it up pretty nicely. There's a little gap there because just the handle where you take it out kind of pushes on it to get a bit. Same windshield piece. It's a great windshield piece. I think it's like a perfect use for that part, because when stickers don't cover the whole thing, they leave like a little outline, and that's exactly what I wanted with this, because that's like the little outline that it has, so that's perfect. Nice angling on top. And then I can take this out, and we have our TIE Fighter pilot guy. and he just is on rails, same exact thing. Just slide him in there, and there are some controls in there, just because I don't want to have him staring at a blank wall, because that would not be fun. And just to give it a little more bit of accuracy. Moving on, we have these things, which are weird triangles that they have on the top of this thing. I'm not sure what they're for, but they're there on the actual model, and so that's cool. They're just, I mean, they're cool. They give the ship some nice texture on the top. They're there. No complaints. I just had to put those on there because I want to make this thing as accurate as possible. Have some nice greebling on the top, not too much because I just mostly tiled it over and had these bits there, which I think looks beautiful, this angling here. But that's pretty much it for this section. I mean, there's some tile here, but really nothing really to see. Except for when you take the top off, but I'll get to that in a little bit. This front section is very interesting, actually. This is one of my favorite bits of the exterior. You have these two little floodlights on the side, which are on both sides. They're on mixel joints, which are fine. They have enough friction that they don't fall down, but if you bang into them, then they'll move, which is sad. But it's the best I could do with the limited parts. Oh yeah, I got the regular set incomplete, so I couldn't just use the old side that they used on that because only one of them was there, so I had to remake these entirely. But it's fine. It looks it's still decent, still good, and I think it gives a little extra bit of playability. You can turn them up, turn them down, but I usually just keep them straight just because they're meant to be that way. Over here we have what they use for the top of this, but I just have it here just because it provides some nice greebling. It makes it less plain, less studdy. That's not a word, is it? No, it's not. But up here we have a different floodlight, and it's labeled as to dazzle the enemy on the cross sections book. So enemies are getting dazzled by this, and it's pretty cool. I mean, you could angle it up and down, but I use an illegal building technique where I put the piece in between the studs like that. So it's a little bit finicky. It'll fall off sometimes. That's why I don't angle it that much. But it looks good. Looks good enough there. I have two telephone pieces on top of a grill, and that I just like it. It just gives a really nice texture right there. It just adds to the overall thing. Like, you can see that, and it looks nice. So that's always a plus to have some nice greebling. I did use hinge pieces, and then I did not use hinge pieces here because I didn't actually have any more hinge pieces because I used them all over here. And both sides angle in like that. So I couldn't use hinge pieces to straighten it out. So what I did end up doing was just using a very illegal building technique and just kind of putting a circular stud there and kind of letting it sit. And these pieces don't go in fully because of that, and this piece is kind of like being angled up a little bit right there. But I did what I could, and it looks good, so I'm not complaining. So we're just gonna Lego police, please don't arrest me for using illegal building technique. I'm sorry. So I think that covers the exterior. It's time to move on to the interior. Time to go to the interior. So what you do here to go to the interior is it comes off in 4 parts. The roof comes off in 4 parts. The first part being this large panel, which just comes off like this. It's the gun. It does not include the turret area, but it includes the little triangles. It just comes off like that. You can also take off this one, our second part, and it has these things that lead up to this part, and they fit in very nicely when they're both up there, but they're separate parts. Whoa. Of course, up here we have our floodlights, which are a big part of the ship. You see them in the movie a lot, and they're very bright. They just sit up there at the top. They're on a bar, which I think is really cool, and they are what connects this piece in, so that's cool. Over here, we have a very, very, very cool building technique that I like a lot. These are actually normal, like, bricks, but what I did was I put Technic pins with studs on the end in the bricks, so that they have studs on either side, and so I could connect them to these side-built structures. So I thought that was very, very cool. I'm happy with how that turned out, which is cool. Of course, up here, we have the ramp, and it has the hydraulic pumps, I guess, that make it go up and down in universe, and it's tiled off, and it has this bit on the front, so it's not with this side and this side having tiles on it. So that just looks, I just think it gives it a really clean look, just like looking at that, and then looking at it from the interior. Looks very, very, very cool. I like how that turned out. And then the second bit that you have to go, this comes off. This is just the area with Sith Troopers. There's no elevator or stairs to get in there. It's fine. It's supposed to be more of a display set than a play set, but it does have play features, so I guess it's both. But that's just this. He comes off here, and there's a little undercarriage for him, which I think is cool, and it's completely covered up, and you have him in there, so that's always cool to see. This area comes off, which I know it's not really an area, but it's just a little gray piece, but that's fine. It just comes off like this, comes off from this bit, and it's just the thing that covers that. So nothing too fancy there. This thing comes off. It's the full cockpit. There's nothing that comes off from underneath there. And behold, the interior of my first order transport. So we're going to start from this section and move to the back. And as you can see, it's filled to the brim with stormtroopers. Of course, there's more space for people. People can go in you can fit about 6 guys in the front area, standing against the wall and standing up here. And then you can fit a little bit more on the side, just like against the wall like he is. About 4 more. So in all this carriage area, this main area, not including back here in the office area, this can carry about 30 figures, which is a massive payload of figures. There's a lot of people in this transport. And Legos could only carry like 4 people, which wasn't very good because it was too short and not accurate at all. But I've managed to fit a lot of figures, and they're kind of cramped in there. They're a little bit cramped, but you know, it's fine. I got like 3 of these Sith Trooper battle packs. That's how I got all those jet troopers, and they just pour out of the front and probably fly out and kill people. And then you have the Fury troopers, the Sith troopers over here. Of course, the third one is in the gunner seat because I got 3 of those packs, and they only came with 3. More troopers. Got a lot of regular stormtroopers in here. I have some executioners just to, you know, fill the space. I had some extra troopers like the flame trooper and the executioners back there just to fill the space because I didn't have enough troopers to actually fill the whole thing. I have a bunch of snow troopers, but they don't really go with the regular stormtroopers, I guess, so I hesitated to put those in there. But we have some Sith officers back here. This is a final order transport, so I have some final order officers back there. And really nothing against the walls, but I do have these bits which are angled up, so they provide support for this, and they both look good too. So those are nice. And then you have the shot of them coming out like you do in the movie. Of course, I can't get the camera in between those figures, but that's what they look like. I have some extra clips for weapons on the wall. I have the old flamethrower. I have a Brick Arms custom flamethrower for that guy now. And then just another blaster for the gunner here. Yeah, him. Just have his blaster in there. And then this is cool. I'm gonna take this guy out. Hold up. This is the door. I'm not sure why I included a panel on the wall to open it, because it already has the stickered piece that Lego had in the set for that. But I do have some nice angled wall bits just to give it a really, really nice shape. This looks really nice. It looks like a sci-fi door. It does not slide, unfortunately, but it does look very, very nice. I do like the look of it back there, and just like looking at it from this angle. That looks perfect. That looks so good. So this is a very thick wall. I mean, it seems like a thick wall from the top, but it's actually not. There's more hollow space under there, but it's mostly for structural stuff, for structural stability. And this is a very sturdy model, actually. There's some bits that fall off, like these flaps fall off a little bit, but It's mostly very, very sturdy. Of course, the door does not. There's just a rectangular gray bit right there for the door, but it does not have those nice angle bits that you'd see from the interior. But it's not a huge big deal because you don't really see back there. You kind of do, but not really. The main area you see is right here. So here is the officer's station, or the flight control area, where we have 2 officers. I have a first order officer and a spinning chair. He's like a fleet officer. Of course, he's eating his watermelon. Just on break, I guess. Talking to a hologram here, which I don't actually have the hologram figure of Palpatine, but I would have put that there. But I just have some blue studs, so that works for that. Hologram tables, nice little engine piece there. It looks fine. Over here we have another console. And then I have a, from the Naboo Starfighter set, there's this step, this railway area, or whatever this is. But that's just a step just to inform people that you're going up a step. I don't know why, but I put that there. It just looks nice. You have another officer. It's a little bit of a cramped space. They're not social distancing right now, but they should be. But he's working at this rounded computer area. I didn't have a thing to put there, so that's sad. I'm using that word a lot, actually. Sad. But over here we have a thermal detonator. That's probably placed by rebels to blow up the whole thing, so that's not going to be fun for these guys or these guys. It's not going to be fun for anybody. So that's placed there. I don't know why that's there. I kind of just had an extra one, and I was like, alright, we'll put it there. And as you can see, the kind of the inner workings, I have some tan bits for these bits. They're completely side built. So that's cool to be able to see. I have some yellow, which is unfortunate there. But I mostly tried to keep it as gray as possible. Of course, we have some support for these back engine areas. And that pretty much concludes this command section. So yeah, that's the interior. And that is my UCS scale First Order LEGO Transport MOC. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It took me a while to build, and it was just really, really fun to build it. And being able to show it to you guys is even more fun, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's it. That's it for this video. See you guys next time, and subscribe to the channel if you're new, which you are, because it's my first video. And please share this. Please share this channel with people you know. I'm going to be making more MOCs very soon. Not just Star Wars stuff, but I also make some other cool stuff as well. Mostly Star Wars though, because Star Wars is my main thing. And I made some pretty cool MOCs that I want to show you guys, and so those will be coming very soon. I'll see you guys later. Rebuilds out.